Welcome to Game of Roses. Today we have a very special guest with us, the hardest working investigative journalist in reality television, Rikkii Wise, aka Storytime with Rikkii. Thank you.
Me. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We are so excited that you are here for a variety of reasons. We have some things in common concerning one, Nicholas Vial. And his attitudes toward podcasters who are not at his level, you might say.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. Rest assured.
Oh my God.
But
I'm just so excited because every time Chad is like, have you seen this TikTok? I'm like, is it story time? Yes. Yes, it is.
So yes, please.
Lights up.
Let's, if we may, I want to start at the beginning, where you're from and how you got into reality TV in the very beginning.
Okay. So I'm from LA. I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I just love reality TV. I watch it. That's not why I started my TikTok or my page or anything. Like, I actually had no intention on covering reality TV on TikTok. Like, I do have a degree in journalism. That's what I went to school for.
Where'd you go?
To CSUN.
Okay.
So
tracks.
yeah. So I made TikTok to do dating story time videos, which I had started on YouTube, and I was just like, and then I just started them on TikTok, and Love is Blind season 3 was on. So I said, oh, these are the guys I would date from this season. Shoot me now, because I'm like, oh my God, no, actually.
None of them.
No investigation has been done yet.
Giving my opinion on those guys, and the video did like surprisingly well. So I was like, okay. So I then made another video about Love is Blind. That one did surprisingly well. Like, and I'm talking about versus like 100 views versus like 700 views. I was like, oh, people like this. And then like the third one I did on that show like hit 1 million views, like the third or fourth video.
Whoa.
So I was like, I think people like this show. So then I just started doing recaps. And then that season is when I got my first big story, which I wasn't even a big creator at the time. So it was really surprising for me. The whole SK Raven scandal. Like, I don't know what it was about my page. I don't know if it's because my videos were going viral, but Hannah Beth Style, the girl who was, with SK while he was with Raven,
I remember all of that.
Reached out to me. And so did one of the girls who matched with him on the dating app, reached out to me. And that was my first big story. And I just went from there.
And so it hooked you. It chose you.
It chose me.
I kind of feel we are in a similar boat with that. We had whole other lives, other careers.
Yeah, we had different jobs.
Yeah. Same.
Wait, I do want to go back to, why did you want to tell the dating stories?
Girl. Because it's been
Like, something good has to come out of this.
Mess. Like, it was like my trauma. And I was like, you know what? Like, I have to laugh at it. And it's like so many ridiculous things happen either to me or my friends that I was like, people need to know about this. This is so crazy, because I used to just like tell a little story on my Instagram story or my Snapchat. And then they're like, you should, people are encourage you should do YouTube or you should do TikTok. And at the time, TikTok was so foreign to me. I was like, I don't know how to work it. I don't know how to edit it. I don't know how to do this. And then I did YouTube, didn't stay consistent with it. And then TikTok chose me. So here I am. Yeah.
No, it's wild. I do another podcast with my parents that's about politics. That's a rough one. But we kind of blew up on TikTok, and that has been kind of a boon to us for sure. It's an interesting growth algorithm on that one. Yeah. But you have gone from TikTok now to, you have a podcast with Ashley Thompson called Reality Receipts.
Yes.
And you guys are just, you dig into, especially Love is Blind, but you're covering other shows. I want to get into, like, for us, watching you do your TikToks, especially around Tyler Francis in season, was that 7 of Love is Blind?
Yeah.
That was, when I first became aware of you was during that. And I was just like, what the hell? You are interviewing Bri Thomas. You have the receipts. You're showing the pictures of him with the secret family. And I was just like, how is she getting all of this? I'd never seen a level of investigation like that. So how did you get to that point from, like, I made one TikTok that people watch, to now I'm getting court documents. I'm showing up at your house. I'm living in your closet.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, the way that it started, Ashley was actually like, because at first it was just like, I'm posting whatever tea comes to me. Like, I'm not really like digging and like I was just like, oh, I'm just posting the tea. And it was actually Ashley. It's my biggest lesson learned. I thank her all the time for it. It was a story about Uche. Somebody came to me and said like, oh, I'm pregnant with like Uche's. Yeah, something like that. I remember
this. And that turned out to be fake, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Ashley kept telling me like, so I'll tell you how me and Ashley met later, but we met through TikTok, but like, I'll tell you our story. But so she's like, I don't know, Rikkii, like, I don't believe this girl. I just have like something's off about it. Don't post the story until you get the, some receipts. Yes. And I was so thirsty to just post the story. And even after I posted it, it was like going viral. And then I stopped and paused because the girl kept saying, I'm going to send you the receipts. Because I asked her for receipts and she's like, oh, I'm going to send them in the morning. And then she was like hesitating to send them. I took the video down and I said, this girl is bullshitting me. And then I took the extra step to find out who that page belonged to, find the real girl. Because it was a complete catfish. Like she was using somebody else's picture, somebody else's video. So I found the real girl. And I made a video saying, this girl's a catfish and this is whose picture she's using. Yeah. And from that moment, I said, I will never post a story again without getting every single last detail that I could find, So that was like my learning moment. And so since then.
Why do you think that woman was doing that?
I just think she was thirsty. It ended up coming out like, I think we don't even know if it was a woman. It could have been a man in somebody's basement. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think he just wanted attention. And then it ended up being like he tried to do it, or they tried to do it in previous seasons with like Kwame saying, oh, I'm his girlfriend. So that was like my learning moment where I said, okay. Wow. And now I get so many fake stories all the time.
I can't imagine.
And now I'm like, I need a receipt.
Yeah, especially because your bread and butter is doing this. It's kind of exposing the dirty, dark secrets.
Yes.
Not exclusively, but like primarily of the Love is Blind franchise. And they have a lot. Every season, there's like 5 people getting sued and the franchise is getting sued for wrongful imprisonment and blah, blah, blah. But we have kind of, we don't really do tea. That's not kind of our bread and butter. We're more like a sports coverage thing of like who's winning the show or whatever. But that idea, I know Reality Steve had a problem with that as well. At some point he did, I think it was Jenna Cooper, right? That he ran a story of infidelity on or something in a past Bachelor season. It turned out to be not true. And that's when he learned that lesson.
Yeah.
I do think there's like, we're in this kind of nascent phase of reality TV coverage where it's a bunch of us are doing our little things here and there. And there's no like standard set of journalistic integrity or anything. And we're all kind of chasing that immediate story to be like the first one to get it out. But I completely agree with the fact that you have to have the receipts. It just seems to me like you have taken it to a level higher than anyone that is doing it.
Yeah. Well, because you're not going to catch me slipping again.
No, exactly. I'm like,
she has a degree.
I have a degree. And then I guess it took a while for me to realize like, actually, this is what I have my degree in. This is what, and I've always wanted to get into entertainment news somehow. I just didn't know how it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, and everything's just falling into place, so. And it's like it's so crazy to me that bigger publications just trust my work now. It's like if I put something out, it's like in Cosmo the next day. And I'm like, oh my God, they trust me so much that like they believe this too. So I also have that writing on my back. Like people trust me. So I'm going to take those extra steps to make sure that what I'm saying is correct.
What was that first one that got picked up by like Cosmo and...
I actually think the first time I was featured in Cosmo was for Bartice's baby mama, which is
God, I remember that.
Which is not even, it wasn't even me that originally found her. It wasn't like, so I don't know why they like, and I actually didn't say who she was. I didn't give her name. The original creator who did, like said her name. And like, I just said, oh, we found her. This is the TikTok found her. This is her picture. I'm not going to reveal her name because she didn't sign up for reality TV. Bartice did, but I know we're all nosy. We want to know who she is, what she looks like. So that was actually the first one. So I'll never forget it. But now it's like, more substantial stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so cool. It's like, I don't know. I often feel this sometimes when I'm like looking at Bachelor news stories and I'm like, oh, there's not actually as much journalistic integrity in the bigger news news pieces. Sometimes they will just put out information that's false.
100%. And I think, we talk a lot about kind of the artifice of reality television. If you watch any of these shows, most of it is fake. Most of it is scripted.
Right.
Most of it is people trying to get famous. Occasionally people will fall in love through, I think, trauma bonding and these crazy manipulative scenarios they're in. But you really bring a light, I think, to kind of like the other half of this, which is what you just said. People who did not sign up for this, but people going into these shows affects their lives anyway.
Yeah.
And so there has to be some kind of care given, I think, especially when you're dealing with a situation like Tyler Francis, where there's like children involved.
Yeah.
And a mom of those children who never wanted to be a part of any of this stuff.
Right.
How do you navigate that, the kind of like push and pull of, I need to get the story out immediately, and wait a minute, I can't fuck these people over?
I think getting the story out is not the utmost importance to me. It's obviously the integrity of the story and making sure that it's correct. 9 times out of 10, I'm the only one that has the story. Or if the story is out, it's not out with the details that I have.
Right.
So it's, people are still going to be interested in what I have to say.
Totally. I like anytime a story starts breaking in reality TV around Love is Blind mainly, I'm always just like, okay, let's see what Storytime with Rikkii is going to say about this. Because I know the court documents are coming. I know they're coming. Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
What was the first court document you got in service of backing up one of these stories? And what was that feeling like when you were like, I got it?
I think it was. So here's the craziest part is like, people think that I go digging up all of this stuff. I have to credit like my followers. Half of the time, they are the ones sending me this stuff. And then I go and make sure that it's legit. Like, okay, is this a real court document? Where did this come from? But I think the first one that I got, it was the Tyler story.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't go find it. People thought that I like went and dug up these kids' birth certificates.
That's what I thought.
No, the Bri Thomas's ex-wife sent it to me to prove, because I said, you could be in, I'm sorry, ma'am. I believe you in all of that, but you could be anybody. Are you on these children's birth certificate? Are you their mother?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I am. And she sent it to me.
Wow.
To prove, like, even when people are telling me a story, I say I need a receipt.
Yeah.
So if they're telling the truth and if they want the story out there, they're going to send me a receipt. And that's what happened. I didn't go dig up the birth certificate. So it was sent to me.
In my head, you have on like a Sherlock Holmes hat and you're smoking a pipe and you have on a monocle and you're just like furiously typing into government databases,
like
hacking
Kermit
into shit.
Yeah. What? I know that was one of my questions. I was like, what are your databases? What are the main sources that you use to look for this kind of information?
Yeah, it's the internet and my followers who are like, I found this here. And then I just go check it because they could be sending me something fake too, but usually they're not. Like, they have my back. And I just checked, say, okay, this is a real document,
And let me ask you this. This is a thing we talk about constantly. What do you think is the level of responsibility or culpability of the producers on any of these shows when it's like people like you who are, you started as a fan, now you're kind of like a fixture in the journalistic side of covering these shows. But if you're able to find this stuff, shouldn't the producers be able to find this stuff and not cast these guys who have like restraining orders and shit?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the restraining orders are different, but I think Tyler, for example, I think production fully knew that he had children.
Yes, me too.
I think they fully knew.
Me too.
Because, even Bri herself said, the children were all over his Facebook, all over his Instagram, up until like he went on the vacation. So even while he was in the pods during casting, they were there. They knew. Now, they couldn't have possibly known that he was going to get on TV and lie about it. I think that they thought that they were casting somebody that just had children. I don't think they could have.
But they still let him do it. They let him go all the way through the pods and propose to a woman without saying a word about that. They let him do that.
Yeah.
And then they hide behind, well, it's an experiment.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not. It's a $100 million per season money-making engine for Netflix. That is what it is to the producers.
Yeah.
And they always hide behind this thing. Chris Cohen comes out and just lies. Well, we have a $50,000 penalty in the contract, but but we never exercise it.
Yeah.
But the threat of it is ever present.
Yeah.
And you exercise that threat for
Yeah.
sure.
Didn't they get rid of it?
Sure.
Yeah.
You
that's
tell
what they
me.
say. Yeah.
I'll let you know when I get my Love is Blind contract for season 10.
I don't have my journalistic
Current ones
sources.
say that they
they've
don't
gotten
have
rid of
that
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
But I think production knew about the kids, but I don't think they knew that he was going to lie and say that they're sperm babies. And how would they know? How would production know if they were actually sperm babies? They're like,
But
I
they
mean,
let
I guess him
propose to
saying,
Ashley.
I'm not active in their life, and they like knowing that
Yeah,
there's
they
pictures
don't know
out
what I
there
look
where
like.
he's active.
Absolutely.
Is it their responsibility to tell
Yes.
Ashley, or is it their responsibility to like have an entertaining show? I think they knew that this was going to blow up.
Well, that's the real question.
Yeah.
What's the line? Like,
Yeah.
how responsible are producers for the kind of like safety and well-being of the people that they're conscripting to be in this quote
Yeah.
experiment?
Yeah.
Especially if
That
they're
they're
not
not
going to let them
paying.
have phones
Yeah.
and be able to do their own
Yes.
research.
Or give them money or psychological help after the show. Like
Yeah.
there are so many areas where I think all of these shows, Love is Blind is maybe the most malicious of all of them. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But for my money, I just think they owe these players more than they're giving them.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least like being upfront about, like when he proposes to Ashley and she doesn't know anything about the kids, a producer can very easily step in and be like, hey, look, you need to know something. He's going to propose to you in your next date, because we all know the structure of that show is a 10-day cycle. Day 10, all the proposals happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're leading into it. The producers have talked to Tyler Francis. Are you going to propose to Ashley? Yes, I am. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, we need to pull you aside. We got to tell you something. He's going to propose to you and we think you're going to be in a good relationship, but you need to know this before you accept the proposal.
I agree.
That would be interfering in the experiment.
My apologies.
Yes,
Yes.
What
yes.
are you talking about?
No, I agree. But also, like, seeing Ashley's reaction once she did know it and the information kind of was out there, I'm not sure it would have made a difference, because Ashley had a chip on her shoulder. We're all wrong. We don't know what we're talking about. She
Yeah.
knows more than the internet does. Like,
I agree, but
Right.
like to
maybe
at
they
least,
had those conversations, but we just didn't see them.
you think the producers told her that he had kids?
No. I don't think
don't
they
know.
did.
That never.
She
happened.
went into
I'm
the marriage
extremely
thinking
gullible.
they were sperm babies. She
Yes.
went into the
She
marriage
thought- yeah.
thinking they were sperm babies. And
100%.
then after she found
Yes.
out the details, I think when the rest of the world did. And at that point, she was already married to him for a year.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's just one example. Was it the very next season that dude Alex with giving the alcohol to minors, all the crazy shit that went down with that? You know,
Yeah.
like how does a guy like that even get in that show when you're promoting the idea of these shows? Is we are selecting almost like perfectly eligible candidates who are single to be like your dream spouse.
Yeah.
and then every season there's
Yeah.
at least one or two dudes in there who have this shit.
Yeah. Real bad.
Bachelor's the same.
Yeah. Carter, too. He was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just, to me, I think we are entering an era of reality television, and partly because of the work that you do and other people like you and us, kind of revealing the behind the scenes of how these shows are made. I think we're entering an era where like that must change. For us to feel good as an audience watching these shows, we have to believe that the producers have the best interests of the players in mind. And I just don't believe that at all
It
right
seems
now.
like they have like the minimum standard for background checks. And it's like, I mean, if you're saying that half of your information comes from people sending it to you, I'm like, I don't know if it's possible for them to get all this information. But it doesn't seem like they're doing as much as they could be.
Absolutely. It could be as simple as, posting those guys anonymously in those Facebook groups and see what comes up, because that's how
feel like
all
that
of
has to
Alex's
happen.
stuff came up.
Totally. Yes, I think it doesn't even have to be anonymously. I
Yeah.
think they can publicly be like, here's the potential cast list for season 12 of Love is Blind. Internet, do you know anything about these
Do
people?
your thing.
Are there any
Yeah.
bad pictures of them? Are there any restraining orders? Are there, and let the internet kind of do a free for all. Like when I'm coaching players, one of the first things I ever tell them before they go into Bachelor, I'm like, look, if you have anything you want kept secret that you don't want people to find out, you literally cannot do this.
Yeah.
Because if you make it to, I mean, in Love is Blind, it's like if you make it to the proposals, you kind of get the scrutiny. In Bachelor, it's like top 6, something like that. Everything you've ever done online will be turned over, read through on Reddit, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
All of that said.
And we found stuff on night 1 players too. It doesn't necessarily mean you're safe.
Yeah.
It's 100% true. If you're on TV at all, it's like just prepare for your life to be turned upside down.
100%.
And is that going to be worth, whatever benefit you think you can get out of the show? If you can get 5 million Instagram followers, maybe it is. Speaking of 5 million Instagram followers, or a little less, 1.1 million, I believe. Let's talk about Nick Viall. So very recently, Viall had on Megan Sparkle, or as she calls herself, Sparkle Megan. How she didn't call herself Megan Sparkle, I still am, I don't get it. That's the obvious joke.
Yeah.
But he had her and Jordan on from the most recent season of Love is Blind. They're having a little conversation. Natalie Joy, of course, was sitting to their right, as she does. And they were having a conversation about a, quote, blogger who broke the news that somebody on Love is Blind was going to do a baby reveal at the reunion. We know that, in quotes, blogger, which you're not a blogger. You're so much more than a blogger.
Yeah.
It's like a way to kind of dismiss even what you do, I think.
Absolutely. I feel that way too. Yeah.
She, Megan Sparkle, or Sparkle Megan, sorry, I don't want to diminish her nickname. She said this blogger revealed, like, basically stole the thunder, scooped our story of the baby reveal. And then Natalie Joy says to Nick Viall, "Oh, what do you call them?" And he goes, "Irrelevant." So we have been through a period with Nick Viall where he called, not directly, but our show and some other podcasts in the kind of Bachelor coverage universe, he called us micro shows in one of his podcasts. And so we turned that into a little marketing thing to do micro show May, I think it was that year.
Oh yeah, me and Ashley are turning our irrelevant into...
Yes, absolutely. But like, I just want to ask you about we think that he has a kind of like, I don't know if he feels threatened by the fact that there is this kind of this growing podcast coverage universe of various podcasts and stuff who were people that were never in reality TV, but certainly we have expertise in the field.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's threatened by it or what, but when you hear him say stuff like that, why do you think he does this like punching down to other podcasts and podcasters?
Oh, because he's a hater. Yeah. It's like, in simple terms, like, he's a hater. I think he's threatened. It's just, and I think for you to say irrelevant, but then also talk about 3 stories that me and Ashley broke on your show is comical.
Yeah.
Because you're watching every episode. You're watching us. And if we don't post, you have nothing to talk about. You talk about all of our stories.
Yeah.
So how are we irrelevant?
Even beyond that, I think, like I said, I don't know how many of us there are now. There's at least got to be 10-ish, like pretty decent size in that middle tier coverage podcasts, TikToks, whatever. Without that, reality TV is not as big as it is, and therefore his show is not as big as it is.
Right.
He's not hosting his own reality show with Natalie Joy. Have you heard about that show, by the way? Age of Attraction?
No.
This is an age gap dating show that's going to be on Netflix next year.
Oh.
And it's rumored that's why he's not going to be hosting the season 4 Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion, is because scheduling conflicts. I have an interesting kind of like psychological idea of him in my mind, because he is the greatest Bachelor player who ever lived, bar none.
According to Chad.
Objectively speaking, most total screen time,
Certain
most total
metrics.
roses, most total, all the metrics, most total kisses, most total
He
everything.
did 3 seasons to become the Bachelor. Caitlin Bristow did it in 1.
But had 3 seasons of screen time.
He doesn't have the most social
we have
media
this argument
followers.
every day. And this is
I
what we
just
do
think
in the
it's
morning.
like,
We wake up and have this
there's
phone
no
call.
objective best sports player, for the ball sports.
Yeah, there are. Shohei Ohtani is the best baseball player that ever lived.
But some people say it's
Wemby,
Tom Brady,
LeBron, Michael Jordan. Yeah, I mean, we can have that conversation.
That's what I'm
anyway,
saying.
I digress.
Okay.
It's not objective.
Okay, it's not objective, but he is one of the greatest players of all time. And he has probably the biggest podcast of any former player of that show. I think that's, I don't know who even comes close. And so he's built this kind of media empire.
Yeah.
But we also hear stories that he kind of wields the control of information in that world with an iron fist, with secret phone calls, and don't talk about this story and don't talk about that.
Yeah.
So it does feel like there's, I just don't know why somebody at that level would be calling somebody like you irrelevant. Like, what is the benefit of it?
I don't think that obvious. I don't think there is a benefit. I think he's threatened. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's like, he's in with Kinetic and Netflix. There's certain things he's not going to touch. There's certain things and topics and questions that he's not going to ask. I can ask those things.
Yes.
I can get that tea. Then you therefore have to talk about it because then it's going viral. And I don't know if it's a threat. I mean, there's space for all of us. So I don't think it's necessary to do what he did. Like
100%.
I watched his podcast and I didn't know that he was known for doing this until he started like making jabs at me. And I would like to point out that me and Ashley were not we did not steal that moment from Sparkle Megan.
Yeah.
She called the paparazzi on herself if we want to keep it 100. Okay.
Yes.
Because we said it on our podcast. We did not name her. We said someone because we think it's, we think that announcing your baby is important. We knew about AD and Ollie's announcement. We said somebody's going to announce something big. We did not say it was AD and Ollie that they're going to announce their engagement. I think it was their engagement at the time. So we do our due diligence to try and let people have those special moments. On a Wednesday, we said somebody's going on a podcast episode. That Thursday, the pictures were out. The pictures were dated. They were taken before our episode was out. So
you didn't take those pictures?
No, I did not.
You were making them with AI?
Yeah. So I'm like, the pictures were taken before our episode was even out.
Yeah.
So to even try and put that on us was, I thought, very strange of Megan. She even said to Nick Viall, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She literally said it and then did another pod and named me and Ashley and saying that we were the ones who put it out there and that alerted the paparazzi. If our info alerted them, then they would have followed every Love is Blind star to see who was pregnant because we didn't name who it was.
Yeah.
And in my mind, she'd be the least likely given her whole storyline.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I feel like it's a very strange thing to be because it's like they're saying that they're upset that this happened, but it's like I was following the story more closely because there were the pictures,
100%.
because there were these announcements. Like,
Yeah.
it fuels the clout that is why they're all doing this in the first place.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I think for Viall, this is just my 2 cents on the matter. And I don't know what's actually going on in his head, but I think his first experience in reality television, which was on Andy Dorfman's season 10 of Bachelorette, he finished second place on that to Josh Murray. God, those were the good old days. And when he was flying home from getting kicked off, he was on the phone with, I believe, his parents on an airplane saying what happened. Somebody sitting immediately behind him knows what is going on, knows that that's the Bachelor, blah, 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 tells that information to Reality Steve.
I believe
he breaks
it was Reality Steve's ex.
Oh, was it really? I don't remember that.
so.
We used to have memorized the flight number. This is how deep
I'm
we go.
really glad we let that go.
Me too. That's a piece of information that I'm fine no longer knowing. But I think that moment kind of like scarred Viall to some degree. And he was like, people who break news about reality TV are pieces of shit. Fuck all of them. And I think that's where this comes from. I don't know.
he does
I'm not
not
a
like
therapist, psychologist. What's that?
He does not like Reality Steve. I feel like that they've had a kind of rivalry.
And I think he kind of puts anybody in that same category who isn't from a reality show, basically. And even within the context of The Bachelor, at least, he seems to have some kind of
hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy.
If they're not Final Four, he's like, oh, they're bitter.
They're bitter, and he kind of dismisses whatever experience they say they might have had in the context of the show. But no, I was just curious what your take on that was, because it's almost like a rite of passage to be dismissed or insulted by Nick Viall in the reality TV coverage world.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, I must be doing something right. Like,
I'm on Cosmo, I'm on Viall.
You're worried about little old me? Like, mama, I made it. Like, damn, I'm doing something right, because until that moment, like, I knew he made snarky comments, but I never had one directed at us specifically, right?
Yeah.
And then Natalie kept bringing up this interview that Joe's girlfriend did, and the interview was with our podcast. So it's like no one can say, "Oh, he's not talking about you,"
right.
because you get those fans, like his fans, like coming into your comments, like, not to bruise your ego, but he's not talking about you. No, he absolutely is. It's no mistake.
Yeah, and he doesn't get it. And like he'll never use the name of a podcast either. Like he won't give the credit where credit is due. He'll just insult a kind of vague person, a blogger. But I think what he doesn't understand about it is it's like the rising tide lifts all ships. Mm-hmm. If he was able to like mention some of these podcasts, even potentially in a positive way, like, oh, the work Storytime with Rikkii is doing is fantastic. She's really like getting to the bottom of Love is Blind. Mm-hmm. She lets you see the show from a different context. Even a small thing like that on his podcast would help blow you up. And now we're all talking about it in a bigger way, and his show gets bigger as a result. I think he is like, I don't know if the threatened feeling comes from like the potential that one of these other podcasts could take his spot, or what the deal is.
Okay, watch out, sir. Watch out.
Oh God, I can't wait to watch this. I can't wait the next year. Okay, let me ask you about this. So Love is Blind season 9 just completed. It was, I know we talk about objective, good, bad, et cetera, et cetera. I think objectively speaking, it was the worst season in the history of the show.
Okay.
In terms of, it was very boring. We had 0 marriages at the end. What is your take as somebody who's been very deep in this world on that season specifically?
I liked it.
Oh shit. Yes. Okay.
I liked it. I thought it was, I didn't find it boring at all. I thought it was very entertaining, very full of drama. Chaotic. I like the chaos. I like the drama. I like the tea. Like, I think that when we have a bunch of lovey-dovey couples, we get complaints. Like, you know what I mean? We skip past those couples. We want to focus on the mess. And it's like this season, we got all mess. I think it is fun.
I agree. I enjoyed it more than Minneapolis.
Minneapolis was probably the most boring season.
Look, I agree with that too, but I think like when I'm looking back at the Love is Blind kind of every season as it panned out, the best seasons to me are the ones where like you had Brett Brown and Tiffany Pennywell. You had like just this kind of almost perfect A couple surrounded by some crazy chaos.
Yes.
I need somebody to root for and like hope that they wind up together. That's the pro wrestling in me. Yep. I need my baby face. I need my good guys.
Yes.
They had no good guys this season.
No good guys.
Well,
and for me, it was like hard to watch.
Sparkle Megan and her
Sparkle
baby
Megan
dad.
was not a good guy, was she?
Her baby daddy.
I don't know.
People liked her, but I thought so too. We usually have like the balance of good and bad in this season. We got all bad, which I'm not mad at because I skip past the healthy couples anyway. Like, I like to have them. I like to root for them. I love Brett and Tiffany. They're my faves. I met them at the Netflix party this summer.
Oh, nice.
I'm surprised I got in. I thought like they were going to escort me right out the back door, but they didn't.
Wow.
But, and so, I think it was different. I think it's something that we've never seen before. But I think if we have more seasons like this, then we're going to run into a problem, I
agree. Do you know anything about the upcoming seasons that are already shot?
Yes.
Oh,
so we do get some marriages. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we at least have the experiment is successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
wait, what cities are they? What cities are the next two?
I think we have, what do we have? Columbus, and we have, I don't know. We have to. So the thing is we never know which ones because there's 2 that are filmed and done and ready to go. And we never know which one they're going to air first. Like they have the option of airing one of the two.
What do you think about that schedule where they shoot something and air it like a year later?
I think that's ruining the show.
I
think
agree.
They need to bring it. They have to fix that.
If you look at like Love Island, shoots and airs the next day.
Yeah.
That's the model. This is pro sports.
Yeah.
And you can't have a Super Bowl last year and then air it now and have anyone give a shit, especially with the reunions. Yeah. They show up and it's like, no one's mad at anybody anymore.
Yeah.
What are we watching here?
Yeah. They all have other children.
And it's like their performances on the reunion always seem, at least for some of them, it's like under threat of not getting invited to Perfect Match or something, And so they're like, no, I can go out there and be mad. Come on, just invite me to Perfect Match.
It's too long. It's too long. They have to fix that. Even with Perfect Match, it's too long. Too much time has passed. and you guys are mad about T coming out. You expect this married couple to just not go anywhere and not be seen anywhere or not do anything. Like, I think that's one thing that they definitely need to fix. But we are going to get some marriage.
Why do you think they haven't done LA or New York?
Because of my dating story time. My dating story times are anything to reflect the dating life in LA. That's exactly why they're not doing it. No, I'm just kidding. We're worried about people going on for clout and TV now. Imagine doing it in LA.
All
we're gonna have.
I think it'd be great.
Like, I don't even know if we are worried about that.
Deserve love too.
Yes, and we're all influencers now. Everyone is. Yeah. Everybody has an Instagram account, and everybody's at least open to the idea of just having 1 million followers dumped in your lap for going on a reality show. Nobody's turning that down. Yeah. And if you have the opportunity to go on these shows, of course, that's what you're pursuing. I mean, the Bachelor franchise is in a state of its own at this point, but they did something very interesting in casting their next Bachelorette, who's shooting her season right now. It's going to come out next March. Taylor Frankie Paul. She's the star of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, 5.1 million TikTok followers, I think. Yeah. So she's coming into the show as a giant influencer. They've never done anything like that. Yeah. So this whole idea that if you even say the word Instagram, you're for the wrong reasons and you should be excommunicated. It's like, well, that's over now, right? Yeah. At least in that franchise.
True. Yeah.
I just think that there's like this false idea that if you go into the show for anything other than love, you're a horrible piece of shit. It's like, no, everybody is going into it to get famous.
Yeah. To get something, right? No, like nobody is just going like, this is my last hope is to go on Netflix and find my husband. Like, I think everybody is hoping for a little something out of it. And if you say that you're not, then you're lying. Like I fully agree 100%. That you're full of shit.
And but the producers tease them with it. Yeah. They're like, you might blow up because of it.
Yeah, but I think like there's a difference between like, right, like just going for clout and like knowing I don't take this experiment serious. I just want the followers. I have no intention on getting married. I already have a girl back home. Like, you know what I mean?
I have a secret family.
I have a secret family, like, versus like, okay, if it happens, it happens. And then if I get all of the perks that come with it, great. Yeah. I think in LA, you might just get a bunch of people that like, tell their wife, I'm going to divorce you and go on this show. But don't worry, baby, I'm coming back.
Yes, great.
I'll watch that show.
I mean, they could even they could use that as like a piece of the marketing for the season. And one person this season is married already. Figure out who it is.
Figure out who it is.
Then you're going overtime. Click, click, click. No, I think just in general, reality TV is hitting this pace. We call it third wave, where essentially like the long history of reality TV from 1947, starting with Candid Camera was first wave, up to 2002 when this Danish show called Number 28 came out that was essentially repackaged as Real World. That's when they invented the ITM. We call them ITMs, in the moment, the confessionals, like direct addressing the camera. Then we're now in third wave where we have shows like Traitors and World's Toughest Test, where you're taking players from different reality franchises and putting them together in a kind of multidisciplinary mixed martial arts of reality TV. I just think we're at a level now where it's like, we all get it. These people all want to be in third wave shows and be big reality TV stars. We get that. And you can fall in love also.
Half of the people watching are like, they're for the wrong reasons. Send them death threats. Like I think there's just such a big percentage of the audience who still is like, this is about love. Like unfortunately,
there is.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see this in Taylor Frankie Paul's season, honestly.
How can they do that?
They'll be like, oh, well, it's a different type of reality TV. And like,
her Instagram followers are for the right reason.
Husband.
Yeah, I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised just because they've come so hard at influencers. Yeah. And it is unfortunate to me because I'm like, a lot of influencers are women. And I do feel like it's kind of like putting down that as a job in general. Like we had on Golden Bachelor, which no one watched, but we did. And there was a woman, Deb, who was like a fitness instructor in like the 80s and had her own fitness instructor thing. And it's like, no, that job now is an influencer, like the yoga Pilates ladies on Instagram and stuff. And it's like, no, it's not evil. It's just like a new type of job that unfortunately, I think gets denigrated a lot. And I want to see the LA influencers compete in Love is Blind.
I want to see, only because I just know that there will be somebody on there that I know. Like, there's no way that they're going to do a Love is Blind LA and there's not someone on that cast that I know.
From online dating or just
girl, online dating, being from LA, all the things. Like someone my friends dated. Like there's going to be somebody on there that I know. So I would love to see it. And I think that people get mad at people wanting to be influencers because they're envious and they're jealous and they're mad and they feel like
seems
they
like
can't
an
do
easy
it.
job.
That's it.
Yeah.
It seems like an easy job and it's not,
Yes.
so.
Totally. But I also think it's, again, we're at a point in reality TV where it's one and the same.
Yeah.
Reality TV is basically just another screen that this influencer is on building an audience.
Yeah.
And I don't get why the reality shows at this point don't embrace it. I think there's still like this kind of old school mentality of.
I think they're going to start embracing it because we heard that on The Perfect Match, the next season of The Perfect Match, an influencer is on there. Nope, never been on a show. Never, just very popular on TikTok and Instagram.
Oh, cool.
So
That's
I think
pretty fascinating.
They are going to start embracing it.
Did you watch Love is Blind France?
I did.
It was very good.
It was very good.
That shows how small a world it is that there were two people who were like connected. One had dated the ex of someone. And I think that I do think that happens in the smaller markets where they have been shooting, like Minneapolis. I think everyone I talked to in Minneapolis knew someone who was on the show.
Yeah. And I think that happened, right? In Minneapolis, it was like the whole Dave of it all and Lauren, and he knew the guy that she was sleeping with before the show.
I know that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of him?
Be careful. Be careful what you say. This is Storytime with Rikkii.
No, I've talked to him.
He's a nice guy. Oh, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
Dan, it was, wasn't it? That was Dan. Yeah.
He's a lawyer.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. I talked to Dan plenty of times. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember we did too a little bit, and it was an interesting thing where I was like, is this guy, does he want to get famous from his like mention in this show, or does he not want to? Because he was talking about maybe suing them, and there was a story of producers trying to get him in the show, and he refused to be in the show.
They shot in his building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
You're just
he has good intent.
okay.
My thoughts.
Please.
I think he was saying that he didn't want his little moments from the show and how he turned down production, but his actions weren't showing that.
Yeah.
His actions, he was making his own reels and making his own, he made his own Love is Blind poster. That's not really giving.
That's right.
Yeah, like that's not really
he's
giving.
A creative guy. I think he was having fun with
That's
it.
what he said. He said we just don't get his personality.
He's a creative guy. Okay.
Sometimes you give advice to people and they do different things. And
You gave him advice too, because I did.
I tried.
Chill.
But I mean, that's the thing. People get involved who are not involved in the show at all.
Yeah.
And like he was worried about his work and I understand it's like you're not platformed at all against whatever people are saying about you.
Yeah, that's true.
If one of my exes went on one of these shows, oh God. The things they'd say.
Well, speaking of going on one of these shows, have you ever been approached to go on one of these shows?
Oh,
The Bachelor.
Exactly.
Actually.
What season was that? Grant's?
Yeah, Grant season.
And you didn't do it.
I didn't know. I think Grant is too young for me. Number one, they didn't know that Grant. I didn't know that Grant was Bachelor. They hadn't announced who it was going to be.
Okay.
They asked me if I would be interested. I'm not interested in going on reality TV. I've also recently been asked to apply for Traders.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not interested in.
Wait,
Oh my
why?
gosh, you said the same thing.
Listen,
You triggered him. You triggered him.
Let me tell you something. If you go on Traders, the civilian one is what I'm assuming they're doing. Let me coach you. You will win the fucking game. You will be the star of the show. I have the math. It's bulletproof. I'm not kidding you.
Okay.
If you want to do it, let me know.
It, actually, I've never watched Traitors. Ashley had the same reaction. She was like, "You have to do it.
Yes,
you have to do it." So that was just like maybe a few weeks ago. A casting reached out and said you should apply.
I'm not kidding you.
Traitors
I have that game cold. If you want to go into that game and dominate it, I can tell you exactly how to do it.
Okay, because I've never watched.
You also have you have the charisma. I feel like the riz that is necessary. Like. I don't know. Sometimes people have charisma on TikTok and maybe not IRL, but
so I have it IRL.
You have it
IRL, and I think they will. I think they will pick you as a traitor. I think you can kind of force that hand.
See, and I don't even know what that means.
He wants that statistically.
Statistically, it means you're playing a way easier game. Okay. You get way more screen time. It eliminates half of the way they can even kick you off the show. The most brutal half, I think, which is murder by the traitors. Murder, and you're going to get to do scenes with Alan Cumming, the greatest Dark Lord who has ever lived. No. I'm telling you, if you go into the show, your whole thing will explode. Okay. Like Storytime with Rikkii is going to be gigantic, millions of followers, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm telling you, I can get you to win that game.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go back and apply because I was like, no.
Yeah, literally. You need to do this.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, you need to do this.
Okay.
But you should also watch watch any of the most recent 3 seasons. Season 1 is very good. Sari, who wins it, she's a Survivor player, plays essentially like a perfect season. I've never seen anything quite like that. Mm-hmm. But I also think nobody knew what the format of that game was who was playing it in season 1. Okay. She wrecks people. The only other traitor who makes it to the end with her is a bachelor, and she just wrecks him.
She gets him to self-eliminate, basically.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Okay.
But yes, you should watch season 1 and hit me up. I'm really not kidding.
Okay.
You live in a nice hotel, I think.
We're going to cover it this season on the podcast. Yeah. So it will be my first season because I've never watched the show.
Interesting. Well, I mean, what you're going to be going against if you do go into that Civilian Traitors is going to be all of them super fans, I think. People who've watched every season probably have, to some degree, generated strategies, at least in their own mind. Probably nothing like what I've done. I'll say that much.
Probably.
I just see the numbers. I see the structure of it very clearly. And there are paths through it that I think people aren't quite aware of at this point. And it's still kind of early in that game.
But they probably want you to say you haven't seen it. Don't you think?
I don't know. I don't think if they're coming to you for it, it doesn't matter what you say. They want you on that show.
Okay.
Is my 2 cents. Anyways.
Well, speaking of shows you haven't seen, we talked just before this that you had been to BravoCon and that you've just gotten into the Housewives.
Just got first.
What is that? What is that like? What is your favorite Housewives franchise?
Potomac and Salt Lake City.
Potomac and Salt Lake City are my 2 favorites. Yes, I think they are the best of all time. Mm-hmm. You need to start at season 1, though.
I would. And I told Ashley that when we have some downtime, which is never, that I want to go back. The only franchises that have like reeled me into the point of like, I need to go watch this from season 1 is Potomac and Salt Lake City.
They're so good. The characters are just amazing. What happens actually people go to jail from both franchises. And those are my favorite types of housewives shows. I'm like, why? I don't understand why so many housewives have been arrested at this point. It's like, what are you doing? You think there's not going to be investigations?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just caught up on both of those franchises, and my favorite character went to jail on one of them. I won't say who, but I cried. I was like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
They're so good.
They're so good.
What was your favorite part of going to BravoCon?
I think my favorite part, so we went with Hey You. Hey You sent me and Ashley to BravoCon. Nice. So that was really nice. I really enjoyed the panels, and I really enjoyed, we did go to the Watch What Happens Live, the Bravos. So that was really fun to see. We saw Vicky get her orange.
Yeah, that was my favorite clip.
Yeah, Ashley has to explain the lore to me because she's like a longtime Housewives watcher. So I'm always like, okay, who's Vicky? Okay, like, why are we happy that she's coming back?
She's the longest running housewife there is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so I liked it.
She's a real talent.
Yeah, so I guess I'll find out because I'm like, Ashley gives me all the back lore, which I love. So I think the panels, because there was just like so much little tea, so much little shade like ingrained in the panels. A lot of people didn't go to the Potomac panel. So stream it on Hey You if you haven't. But it was so much tea. Wendy was there. Like I knew like the you know,
he doesn't
have
know.
some allegations.
He doesn't know she's in trouble.
She's in trouble. So people were shocked that she was there. Karen was there. You know, it was her first appearance since getting out of jail.
Okay, it was Karen. Karen's the one who went to jail and I cried. I love her so much. She's the grande dame.
Yeah.
She's the Queen of Potomac.
Well, she looked amazing. She looked great.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, she looked good. She was there. So she didn't do the panel, but she was at the Bravos. So it was her first appearance since. Ashley posted a clip.
We just went on Almost Famous, Ben Higgins and Ashley I's podcast. And Ashley I is going to be on Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And I started thinking, and I was like, who would I want to like... Who do I think is the best at being a housewife? What would be my ideal housewife to come off as? And I think it would be Giselle. I'm like, she's so funny.
She's so funny.
She's never really in trouble. And especially Potomac, like a lot of people get in trouble on that show for various things. There's a lot of physical altercations.
There's a lot of physical altercations.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Never Giselle.
I like Giselle. And she's messy too. Like she starts some stuff to where it might lead to a physical altercation and it has not.
Exactly. And that is the beautiful magic line that a housewife has to walk.
Yeah. Always on the verge of a fight, but never throwing a punch.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. In the time that you've been collecting tea, collecting receipts, et cetera, you must have come into possession of something that you cannot reveal for various reasons. How much secret tea do you have in your tea cellar?
Oh my God, so much. There's so much that me and Ashley get that they, you know, sometimes people just want to talk. They just want to tell you and they say, please don't share it.
Yeah.
And if somebody says, please don't share it, I don't share it.
Yeah.
Believe me, I have gotten DMs at like 11 o'clock at night. Meet me at this hotel. I'll tell you everything. And you just go into this hotel room and you're like, what am I seeing? Here's a video they're showing me. Here's some secret FaceTime they recorded. And I'm just like, this is fucking insane. Yeah. Like the stuff we talk about or can talk about on our show, like the kind of next level, I say down, not up, is the world of reality TV production is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And so I was just curious if you've gotten the next level down yet.
So much tea where people just want to talk. They just want to get it out there. And then they just say, don't say anything. And I say, okay.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to say it, if you don't
Does
want
it
the story
change
out
the way you watch these shows?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. You know, I try to watch it just for fun, but I watch it with the lens of like knowing it's produced, knowing it's like, I don't actually hate these people. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's the tea behind it that makes you, you know, question someone's character, like Tyler, like, okay, actually you suck. So like in real life, like not just on the show, you know, but I'm very well aware that like it's an edit. And I think that's what the fans need to realize is it's an edit.
100%.
Threatening people, leaving mean comments, leaving hate comments because of what you saw on TV and you didn't like the character that was portrayed, you know?
Absolutely. So. We always talk about it like pro wrestling and it's like, you know, if you don't like The Undertaker because you think he's a bad guy, you wouldn't send him a DM and be like, I hate zombies, you piece of shit. He's not a zombie. You understand that, right? Like no one in any of these reality shows is actually the person you're looking at. Like you're saying, per the edit or per producer manipulation or whatever. I mean, I'll never forget there was a time in Bachelor season 24. This is pilot Peter Weber, who was on Traitors season 2 and did some interesting plays. He went on a one-on-one date with this woman named Victoria Fuller. They come into this amusement park. It's shut down for them for the day. They're going on roller coasters and shit. Yay, this is so fun. They turn a corner and there's a little amphitheater in this amusement park. And there's a concert going on. And the man on stage is this country singer named Chase Rice, who Victoria Fuller had some kind of a friends with benefits type thing with less than a year prior to this. And he's like, oh my God, Pilot Pete. He's like, I love Chase Rice. And she's like, what?
I loved him too.
Yeah. Exactly. But I'm just like, in that situation, they painted her kind of to be like a piece of shit for this. And it's like the producers brought him there for this moment to single her out, to make her uncomfortable. And it's just a moment that I'm like, you gotta take everything you see in these shows with a little bit of a grain of salt in terms of what you think about the players. But
and they've cross-stitched scenes together where it's like both people are talking to producers, not each other, and then made it look like those two people are talking to each other. And it's like, I'm still extremely gullible, and I still have to remind myself to not be influenced, because they're really good at their jobs and like making you feel one way or another for these characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've come into possession of various documents and images and things like that throughout the course of us doing this podcast, some of which are extremely illuminating in terms of producer attitudes and their communications behind the scenes as they're producing a full season. Yeah. And when you can read a document like that, that's like 500 pages long, and you're like, what did they just call that guy? Yeah. Oh my God, they literally asked him to throw a punch. Yeah. You're just like, it's all pro wrestling. Yeah. All that said, what I want to ask you in relation to that is, where do you think reality TV is going in terms of the audience in the coming years? Are we getting smarter? Are people able to see this and still enjoy it for what it is? Are we entering like an attitude era of pro wrestling where we all agree it's fake, but we still want to see him in the ring?
Yeah, I think what I did notice with this season of Love is Blind, for instance, was like they did not accumulate the following that past seasons have. Like they're still quite low in comparison to like other seasons, like getting million or a million or anything close.
Well, Minnesota, the top two were I forget their names, but the one married couple, Christmas couple. Yeah. They have around 500K a piece. Yeah. And they were the only married couple. This season, no marriages. And the top two are Jordan and Megan Sparkle with about 125K in that range.
Yeah. And I think that was the only couple that like people were kind of rooting for, kind of waiting to see maybe something would happen. And usually it's like the married couples are like, like they might get some like brand deals or whatever, but there's that like breakout star. I don't think that we got that this season. I don't know if moving forward what's going to happen, because I think the audience is confused with what they want to see. Do you want to see love? Do you want to see 100%. Drama? Do you want to see a mix of it all? Do you know that it's fake? Do you want to believe it's real? What do you guys want? So I think that production's trying to like make us all happy, and there's no way they were like, oh, they don't like the married couples, they don't like the happiness, like let's give them drama. And then we're like, that's too much drama, like you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Are you watching Love Island?
Yes.
So they are record breaking in the amounts of social media followers that they're getting right now. So I'm like, okay, clearly there's a desire to follow some of these people, but
that's Love Island has that young audience, and I don't like the Love Island audience. It made me not want to cover the show. They're teenagers. Yeah. There's this new wave of like 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds that are watching Love Island. First of all, bad parenting, get your kids. Why are you watching Love Island? And they're like making out and humping on each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? But there's this new wave of followers out of nowhere that are just, I'm like, where did you guys come from? And you can't give an opinion. You can't say anything about the people that they don't like. I got death threats because I didn't like one of the girls from Love Island. I thought she sucked, and I said she sucked. Like, because if I think you suck, I'm going to say you suck. I'm not going to be fake. Sure. So, I think
partially because it's every day. Yeah, they're so intense.
Yeah,
but it's also like you're asking, what people want to see. I think it's one thing. Reality TV stars, period. I don't care if they fall in love. I don't care if they get in fights. I don't care if they're for the right reasons, for the wrong reasons. I want to see somebody who is fucking electric on that screen, and I don't know what they're going to do next. Huda was that in Love Island season 7. Yeah. You had Leah Kateb in Love Island season 6. You had no one in Love is Blind season 9. None of those people are reality stars. You did have some. I think Tiffany Pennywell is a reality star. Whoever she wound up with, even with no one, I think on that season, she would have walked out of there. Go all the way back to season 1. Lauren Speed is a fucking star. Yeah. And you need to cast people to that end, which is why I think this Bachelorette season coming up is going to be fascinating, because Taylor Freaky Paul is a reality star. Yeah. And I think that that's it. It's like, if you're making a reality show, you need a reality star.
Yeah.
Period. And if you don't, in service of, well, this is going to be for the right reasons and they need to find love and it's an experiment. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's a lie you've been telling us for basically ever in all these reality dating formats. And it's like, we see through it now. Just give me somebody who is extraordinarily entertaining.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think what we're getting now are people that are very aware of the camera, very aware of the edit, very aware of how they're coming across. And so they're trying to be this person. They're trying not to get a bad edit. They're trying not to say or do anything bad that the audience is going to use against them. And so we're getting a lot of boring.
It's
you
defensive
don't get
play,
good play
instead of
when,
offensive.
People are scared.
I would like point everybody in the direction of Harry Jowsey. That is a guy who has like been very open about the fact that he's created a character that he plays in these shows.
Yes.
And it's a fascinating and entertaining character. He's a reality star.
Yes.
And he gets that, like, I'm doing a pro wrestling thing here. This isn't really me. It's some pushed version of me, or in some cases, not me at all.
Yeah.
Like, just totally scripting it himself with catchphrases and stuff. And it's like, it works. There's a reason that he has more Instagram followers and TikTok followers than any other male player.
Yeah.
Whoa. Sorry. Is that Harry Jowsey? He's like, I heard you were talking about me. Hey, can I get on your podcast? Anyways, no, I just think that like that is the direction all reality TV is headed. And it's like Lizzie was saying, those Love Island numbers they speak for themselves.
Yeah.
It's the most engaged show in the history of television.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, it's like, you got to take the note there that you need to cast electric people in these shows. And I think what you're saying is true. Like, especially in Love is Blind season 9, a lot of those players are playing very defensively out of fear. I don't want the bad edit. I don't want to be a villain,
Yeah.
And it's like, you can be a villain, Harry Jowsey, and it can work.
Yeah, it can work. You can lean into that villain role and
Totally.
really make it work for you. But you have to be a likable villain.
Yeah.
Like Harry
Absolutely.
Jowsey is a likable villain. You can't just be a villain like Shake from his. Nobody liked him. You're just an asshole. You know what I mean? There's a difference between a villain and just an asshole.
Absolutely.
There's some people that are just assholes. You
got to have the charm to go along with it, I guess.
Yeah.
What are some shows that you're looking forward to in 2026? Obviously, the 2 Love is Blinds that will come out. There'll be one usually in February, one later in the year.
We heard that we're not getting one in February, that we're going to get it a little later.
What?
That there's some other shows that, that's what a little birdie told me, that we may not get it in February, that we might get it a little later, that we're going to get some other shows first, possibly.
Shit.
Like, Perfect Match will be coming out a little sooner. I think they're hearing you guys are taking too long.
Yeah.
This is filming and then it's, coming out a whole year and a half later. So I think with the AD and Ollie of it all, with like, dang, by the time it's airing, she's pregnant, they're engaged, like, and nobody's even seen the show yet. So I think they're trying to take a page out of the book and like bring it closer.
Interesting.
But, so I am, of course, the Love is Blind. We're still going to get it, just not in February. Love is Blind. Let's see. I do enjoy the Perfect Match. It's mess.
I love it.
You know what I mean? I am looking forward to the next season of Love Island. I think Love Island is just such a time that it's just like summertime fun. Like, keep the 12-year-olds out of my DMs, as long as they leave me alone.
Leave story time alone.
Leave me. Oh my gosh. The amount of DMs. I'm like, leave Huda alone. I'm going to beat you up. I'm like, girl, you're 3.5. Like, get out of here. Like,
I never engage with the DMs, but I'm like, Jesus, am I now obsessed with a show that 12-year-olds are watching? Like, how did this happen? How did this become my life?
Yeah, like they have a very, and it seems like this season in particular is like they have a lot of a young audience, which is like boosting those ratings, boosting the views, boosting the followers. I don't know where they came from.
It's fascinating. Love Island to me is kind of like, it obviously is an evolution of Bachelor in Paradise, which was the first kind of group dating in a tropical location setting or system that we had. But Love Island has elevated it to this. It is a pro sport that is airing daily almost. Yep. You're seeing the players get to some degree feedback from the actual public who's watching it when they do the various challenges. It's like, who was it? Amaya and Zach were voted like America's favorite couple or whatever right after he dumped her. And he was like, actually, we should not be dumped. Let me come back to this for 1 second.
It wasn't you, Zach. It was never you. Let's just make that clear.
But to see that kind of like audience interaction is interesting because that's how real pro sports are as well. You know? whatever performance you give in the game, the audience gets to react to that, and that may affect your performance in the next game, so on and so forth. I love that element of it, and I also love that they're trapped in the compound there where they reside for whatever it is, the month and a half. I think like that is the way to do it.
They should do that with football players too.
Yeah.
Put them in a compound.
Trap them together.
I mean, they kind of are.
24/7
They're on a
And
team.
what's so crazy is it changes every day, right? Like you can love somebody one week, and then the next week you can absolutely be like, oh, they suck. You know?
Yeah,
and then,
totally.
Next week I love them again. Like, you know, so.
I think we're going to start to see more things like that show. And I know there's like, I don't know, as we've been kind of doing this, we come from a TV writing background. So selling TV shows and doing all this kind of stuff is kind of, at least has been my career up to this point. And I've kind of started to dip into selling reality shows as well. Mm-hmm. And I've been met with some very interesting attitudes from just people who are like fixtures in the reality TV world. When you're like, okay, here's how I want to do this. I want to shoot for a week, air on Friday, shoot for a week, air on Friday, do that for 10 weeks. That's the show. Okay. Almost universally, people are like, you can't, that's not how it's done. You sequester all the players, you shoot for 2 months, then you take 2 months to edit it, then you air the show. Yeah. And I'm like, Love Island is doing it already. Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah. And it just seems to be like there's a hesitation in the reality TV world to do anything new. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. And Love Island has that thing cornered. So like, we can't touch that. Yeah. It's bizarre to me. But anyways, thank you, Rikkii Weiss, for joining us today.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
This has been beyond a pleasure.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, we just really think that you're doing like some of the most important work in reality TV coverage currently. And this is like a huge honor for us.
Oh my God, thank you.
It's the most relevant ever. And I can't wait to see you on Traders.
Relevant ever. I can't wait to see you on Traders.
That's not a joke.
Okay, I'm like going to go find that DM right now. I'm going to go find that DM right now.
It would be my honor to coach you to a championship of that game and then beyond. A third wave, I can see it. This is at least a 10 to 15 year long career in third wave television, just dominating various games. I can see it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna show you the DM. I'm gonna let you have to let me know what you think. Right. I was like,
and also please tell everybody where they can see reality receipts and everything you're doing.
Okay, so you can find me. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube at StorytimeWithRikkii, spelled RIKKII. And I do have a podcast with the Reality Ashley. It's Reality Receipts Pod on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here with us.
You guys.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us. And then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.